Lost along this road, do you know the way? Can't find my way back home, feel like I changed. Away from all I've known for too many days. The lonely path I chose, I've been so lost, 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 lost. I said, I'm lost along this road, do you know the way? All the love I threw away, all the things I missed, I can't reclaim. All the time I wasted, I feel so lost, 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 lost. So I said, I'm lost along this road once again. Can't find my way back home once again. Away from all I've known once again. All the things I missed, I feel so lost, 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 lost.
My brothers, my brothers, my brothers. Today is such an important video. This is part one to a man's pain. Because a man's pain is a real reality. At this point, I'm here with the congregation with my brothers today. I will be having a special guest coming today, and we will be going over a man's pain. Because a man's pain is as serious as that heart that beats in your veins. Because what we are dealing with in these times is serious. My original video, Men's Pain, was very painful because some of us as men do not understand other men. They don't understand the position of other men's pain. And so until we get to the bottom of understanding how this is, how the men's pain is, they will never understand the problems and the psychological issues are we dealing with today. All of these mental illnesses that we are dealing with, where do you think they come from? That come from you surviving your childhood. That come from you dealing with fucked up shit because of the poor decisions that your mother make. Yeah, I'm gonna be raw. I gotta be uncut. Because until we understand the position that men are in today, we will continue to feel this pain. The world understands now the position that men are in. The one thing you cherish the most, your children, you don't even have rights to them. That's a part of your pain. And you got to understand that position is serious. Men today now, that we realize that men in today's society now, they are starting to go on suicide missions. They're starting to kill the mother of their children. Men are starting to go into bad positions in their life today because it became so unhealthy, and he's starting to realize how bad it is in his life. He don't know what direction to turn, so he chooses to end it all. On a suicide mission. I want brothers to understand that until you wake up and understand the position we in today, you will never understand the plight of men. Until you start understanding the position we in today, you'll never understand the pain your father went through. I don't give a fuck if your father wasn't in your life. Did you ever ask him why he wasn't in your goddamn life? Are you just assuming, going off what your mother said? He was the one that made the decision to bring you in this fucked up situation. You don't understand what I'm talking about. You don't understand where I'm coming from. Because if you understand it, you'll be up here on your feet, understanding the position of men. We got a bunch of mama's boys in these societies today who don't know how it's like to be a man, who don't know how it's like to be a leader, who don't know what it's like to guide something, to keep structure in his life. He don't understand it. That is the major issue of what we're dealing with. Understanding that position of men. Understanding where men coming from in society today. This is where the heartbreak and the confusion come from. This is where the unhealthy environment comes from, because once you start living in an environment that you have no rights in, let me say that one more time. Once you start living in an environment that you have no rights in, you start seeing yourself as nothing. Start seeing yourself as a man that's powerless. You got no rights over your kids. You got no rights over nothing. You try to get some rights in position of power. As we see today, women getting away with murder and walking away without any due process in today's society. The OnlyFans woman, that's a great example. I will be having my special guest come in. He should be coming in right about now. And he's more raw and uncut than me. Here you go, Mr. Doc is in the building. I don't know if he's here or if he's in the
Can you hear
stream
me?
zone.
Can you hear me?
Yes. To the one in the chat, if you can hear. Alrighty. Give me 1 second. I think I'm having some technical difficulties because I can't.
I hear
For the
you
one in the chat, if anybody can hear him in the chat room,
I
because I'm
hear
having
you.
an issue hearing them.
I hear you perfectly. I don't know if you can hear me.
All right, put the one in the chat if you can hear him in the chat room. All right, so some people putting the one in the chat. I can't hear you. That's the problem. That's probably on my end. Let me see. What's going on?
I'll talk in a little bit.
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right. Okay, brother. This is the one Papa Doc. I hear you perfectly, and now you can hear me.
All right. Perfect. And now we got Mr. Sir. Doc is in the building. The brother who tells you not only the position, but has experience understanding what men are going through. And not only in this society, but in the world. Tell them about the man's pain in this society, in the Western society.
Thank you, brother. As always, I want to thank you for caring about men, for caring about humanity, for caring about all of us, and being willing to put yourself out there for us. So I just want to give you props for that. You know, people in general, whether or not they cisgendered males or whatever, or they have a vagina or whatever, people in general are hurting all over. And you know what they say? People that, hurt people hurt other people. And so we as a species, Homo sapiens sapien, we as a species, we're hurting each other all the time, constantly. Now, there is a system in place that is controlled by whatever they are, and they get off, they get energized, they feed on this evil, they feed on fear, they feed on hurt and pain, and so we fall into that. Some people, some philosophers, some scientists, some people say that this is a simulation, a, a big simulation that we're in. May or may not be true, but the fact is we're here. And as a man, as a cisgendered man, I always kind of say, like turd flinging monkey, I always say, well, I'm a masculine presenting transgendered woman. That'll get you all kind of benefits, right? Lesbian. Got to say I'm a lesbian. I'm definitely lesbian. But the fact is, men in general, we've been relegated to a inferior position, a subhuman position. Now they have us thinking, a lot of us, that, well, because uh, you're out here scoring, making a play, getting over, so to speak, on some nasty vagina, disease ridden, pus filled vagina, that you're winning. And what you have not been told is that because we're men, we have a penis. When you actually stick it in a vagina, you have closed a spiritual contract. You've made a spiritual contract with this demon. And she knows it, if not consciously, subconsciously. That's why they have so much power over us. We say we have a physical need, imperative. No, not really. But because we fall for the trick, and then we are now in contract because we stick our penis in a disease pus filled vagina, blood splattered vagina, then we have now contracted ourselves to a system literally from hell. Think about it. When we're young, I mean, really young, like little boys. I never went through this myself, but a lot of little boys, they say, "Ooh, it girls, that's oh no, thank you." Now I never did have that problem. I was like, "Oh, it's a female," and got me into all kind of trouble. But what I'm trying to say is, most young boys, they know that there's not only is a difference, but there's something funny about them, that ain't quite right. But we are, I guess, groomed. We are taught. We are somehow say, no, you wanna have one of those. And next thing you know, after a few years, we believe we do. And it would be okay, except that that's when all your problems start. Because before then, you're collecting comic books out there, checking out the insects, just laying out there with the boys, just looking up at the sky, having a great time, playing Army, just having a great, in total, just having a great old time. But all of a sudden, when you think you have to, I'm making a long story long, but when you think you have to have one of these demons, they have control over us. And so we ain't having fun no more, just enjoying ourselves, being literally being the gods that we were intended to be. We are now subservient to a disease-ridden, pus-filled, blood-splattered hole. And now we are subject to all the negative, nasty things that happen and that they do to us, the rejections, and they get off on rejecting us. Have you ever watched a girl, especially when they're young, and they reject the boy, and all the other girls are laughing, and when you're in college, it's demonic. And they like the bad boys. They like the sluggos, and the guys that mean them no good. Oh man, they give them everything. They don't have to do nothing. They love Sluggo. LaQuisha loves Sluggo. But the good guys, no. They treat good guys like crap. I'm gonna be quiet now and let you have it. But I just kind of wanted to start this by saying we've been tricked from the beginning. So don't take it personal. Just get out of it. I'll turn it back over to you, sir.
And brother, you are preaching, because I said this. I was on somebody's stream, and I was talking to him, and I said that these communities are a reflection. All these evil men in these communities are a reflection of what women desire, and the men's pain and the contributor of this pain is by the teaching and the raising of these women today. And they blame men that has no control or rights over his children or his woman. And that's not even his woman. Because as I said in my previous videos, that you have no woman. You have no land, you have no woman, you have nothing in this country. The only thing you have is you. And you barely have that because the government got you on the Social Security number. As long as you got a Social Security number, they own you. So you must understand who the hell you are. What are you as a man? Most of us today don't understand what it is to be a man. We have to learn the hard way through life to understand what it is to be a man. We don't know how to build. We don't know how to have camaraderie. We don't know how to work with other men. The only thing we know how to work is against other men. The only thing we know how is to hate men. Why? Because your mama taught you how to hate men. Because she told you your father wasn't shit. And since she told you that your father wasn't shit, guess what you thought in your head? Men wasn't shit. Because you equated your father as men. He's a man, so you equated him as men. And you get these mama ass niggas today in society. They come out here and they say, my mama, I love my mama. I said, what about your father? He have nothing to say. He have no answer. He can't say anything. because he's so used to hating himself. He's so used to hating men. That's what you get when you in a society in the Western culture that hates men. That's what you get when you come in a society that thinks men is nothing but a resource and utility. And I'm gonna say this today. I was gonna say this in my video, and I will say this in part two. But I'm gonna let you guys know, no matter where you go in the world, you will always be a utility to women. I don't care what country you go to. I don't care what land you touch. You will always be nothing but a utility. Period. Something to be used. Something that they can take advantage of. Something that they can come up off of. I remember. I tell you a story. This is a great one. I was working with some. I was doing service on somebody's house. I service people's house, and when I was working on the person's house, I went to the guy apartment. His woman opened the door, and when she opened the door, I went to work on the house, inside the house. And one thing I heard her say, because my ears was listening, she said on the phone with her sister, because her sister was on the phone. She's like, "You moved in with that dumb nigga? I told you not to move in with that nigga." That's what she said. I ain't lying. That's what she said. She said, "You moved in with this dumb nigga." She was like, did you put your name on the lease?" She was like, "Oh no, I got mail and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna make sure I'm all right because this nigga ain't gonna be able to control me in this situation. My mail on the address." She was like, "You better make sure this dumb nigga, because these niggas ain't shit, pieces of shit." She was like, "I know these niggas ain't shit, pieces of shit. He pay all the bills anyway, so I'm using them anyway. And I'm up here doing service in the house." And this is what she say. See, I always tell you, man, they plotting against you even when you don't know they plotting against you. And you have to understand that the man paying all the bills. See, you niggas don't understand that the woman are all the modern day woman, the woman today is always plotting against you. Always plotting against you. Even when you don't even know she plotting against you. And you wonder why she always win at the end. Because she always 10 steps ahead of your ass. She's always 10 steps ahead of us. Because she has a plan. And her plan is to get ahead of you. Her plan is to screw you so she can get ahead. At the end of the day, she always got a plan. Whether she has a plan to have kids to put you in the system, or she got a plan to leave you homeless and take advantage of you. So at the end of the day, that's what you'll always be to these women. And if you ain't of good use to her, you are nothing to her. It's period. That's a part of a man's pain. Understanding that. See, I used to be an idealist of love. I had this ideal of love. I used to believe that if you loved a woman, it was forever. That's right. I believed in that love was forever. Then I had to wake up and realize that it was all a lie. That love never existed. It didn't have that. I believed that because I wasn't taught growing up. You see, I didn't have my dad till later. My dad didn't teach me that. He passed on when I was a young boy. I never got the opportunity to understand that love wasn't real. I never got the opportunity to understand the point of view of what men go through in this society when it comes to his pain. I never got the opportunity to understand the suffering that men go through. I never got the opportunity to understand why uncles and grandpas and all them are drunks and on crack. I never got the opportunity to understand why men today are homeless and what was their reason. I never got the opportunity to understand why men are committing suicide when I was young. I never got the opportunity to understand the man's pain and the suffering. I never got the opportunity to understand why a man can't get his children. I never got that opportunity to understand. And today we got to understand what the hell is going on. We got to have the opportunity to understand what's going on in society today, because you have the opportunity now. You have the opportunity to understand what man is going through, what type of pain they going through, why men feel like they left out in society, why men are starting to kill shit in society because they have nothing to lose anymore. Because you took everything away from us. We have no dads. We don't even worry about having fathers now because they ain't even there. This is what we living in. This is society we living in. Women have the right now to kill you and get away with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Women have the right now to kill you and get away with it without any due process. without any due process. Understand what kind of society we live in. Understand what environment we living in. When a man can't see his kids and he made a decision to kill the woman he laid down with because he couldn't see his children. Don't tell me about a man's pain in society today, because men today are sick to death of dealing with this hypocrisy that we deal with in the courtroom. Men are sick and tired of dealing with the hypocrisy when it comes to these laws and a man's rights, because we don't have none. Men are just sick to death and tired of hearing about how fucking ain't shit their father was, not understanding the pain of his father. That same pain your father went through is the same pain that you gonna go through. Let me say that again. The same pain that your father went through is the same pain you gonna go through. Because when it comes to a woman, she's gonna look out for women first. I'm gonna say that one more time. When it comes to a woman, she's gonna look out for a woman first before she look out for a man. Why you think all of her women, her daughters always succeed, graduating, getting all these degrees? Because she pushed her daughter first. And you a fool thinking she pushed you first. She pushed you last. You nothing but a mama's boy. Die up in the house. Stuck up in the house. You have to get away and create your own way in this society. I understand why a man want to leave. He don't have no land. He want to try to find some type of land for himself because there's nothing here. There's nothing left. And we got to understand that today. We as men have to understand the conditions of men. Until we understand the conditions of men today, we'll understand the man pain. Look at Kevin Samuels. I gotta preach about this. I was watching an interview, and it was Kevin Samuels' cousin. They say he was his first cousin. That's what they said. And when he was talking, he was preaching. He said that the woman that was with Kevin Samuels never showed up at the funeral. He said the woman that was with Kevin Samuels one more time never showed up at the funeral. And they claimed that that was supposed to be his fiance. This is what they claimed. He said he never seen her at the funeral. And the thing he topped it off with was, he said that he feel like, and the family feel like, that his murder, that his death was suspect, that it was a murder. They felt like his death was suspect. And I'm saying this because Kevin Samuels spoke about family. Kevin Samuels spoke about marriage. Kevin Samuels wanted to help the family. Kevin Samuels wanted to build the family. Kevin Samuels spoke up against single mothers. Kevin Samuels spoke up saying that being a single mom wasn't good. Kevin Samuels spoke up against women who didn't give a damn about themselves, who was fat and overweight. Kevin Samuels spoke up about these things. And when you come here and you speak up against the system, the mafia, about anything that fucks up their money when it comes to single motherhood, when you stop in the hustle, then they're gonna have to stop you. And he became sort of like a Teflon Don. Women couldn't even get him off his platform. They was able to get Tommy Sotomayor off his platform. That's right. They was able to get any other man that spoke up with a big voice off their platform, but they couldn't do it to Kevin Samuels. Why? Why they couldn't do it? He was untouchable. But they figured there was other ways to touch him. And when the family came out and spoke up and said they felt like that death was suspect, all my suspicions was right. Because they're not going to let you come out here in this society and speak up, and speak the truth when it comes to female behavior and issues. They're not going to let it happen. They're not going to let you have a big voice into the mainstream. No, not in the men's pain. Not in the society that don't want you to have any rights. Not in the society that when you was born in jail. But there was a woman by the name of Cynthia G. came out here and said that black boys should get goddamn exterminated, that they should be aborted. You can't tell me about a man's pain in a society like this. You can't tell me. This is a society that I give a damn about you. When Kevin Samuels died, they celebrated. That was a man who wanted to fix the family. If they celebrating about a man who wanted to save them, what do you think they're gonna do about a nigga like you? They don't give a damn about you. And until we understand this, until we can identify this and understand what we are going through in this society, we're gonna continue to feel pain. We're gonna continue to suffer. We must understand the conditions and what we're going through in the society. Because at this point, if you can't see it, you're gonna be coming into some bad shape today in this Western culture. You can never understand this social construct. When you grow up as a child, they teach you to be feminine. They don't teach you to be a man. They teach you to go against other men. They don't teach you to work with other men to build. They teach you to fight against other men to build. They teach you to compete with women. When women are supposed to be competing with you because if you're the prize, why the fuck are you competing with people who brings nothing to your life? Brings nothing to your life. And until we understand this, we're going to continue to be just like that hamster wheel, going nowhere. Brother Doc, I'm going to hand it over to you, bro.
Brother, as always, you be preaching the gospel of truth, and people don't want to hear it. See, if the real deal is, and I know you, I know your heart, and brothers should be, I know you never ask, but brothers should be contributing to you to put you up there so that you can continue to bring more truth to people, so you don't have to be out trying to hustle in the world, because you're hustling for us, but instead they keep that money and they go buy junk food or still spending that money on whores, and instead of giving you a part of their money to help their fellow man and make this a better world. So I know you don't ask for it, but that's what people should be doing for a brother like you. But I can tell you this much, that a lot of things, I'm gonna get a little deeper. A lot of people don't want to say what I'm getting ready to say. I watched Kevin Samuels. I remember when I first was watching him, I was totally, I don't know, not totally, but almost 100% what he said. I just went, he crazy. He a total blue pill cuck. But then before he died, I started listening to him. I was listening to him again. I was okay. Well, he's making sense. I'm listening to him. He's still a he's still a blue pill, purple pill, whatever. He was saying some stuff, and so I was listening, and I was okay. It's interesting. I'm not gonna recommend him, but I'm listening for myself, because I was watching how he was dealing with black females. And he was still teaching them how to trick high-class brothers. He was still teaching black women, just like black women do. He was teaching them how to manipulate, how to appear to be a certain way, so that a black man, because as black men, we're kind of stupid. I think all men are stupid, but black men, we're especially stupid and are susceptible to the matriarchy, because most of us was raised by the matriarchy, even if we had a dad in the house. And consequently, he would teach women, do this and do that, but he never taught women what to do, once you get a man. He taught her how to trick him, because the laws are still the same. And once a woman, no matter what color she is, but once a black woman has snared a simp, now the law says she can destroy him, just like you said. And she can kill a nigga anytime she wants. She can kill a black male in utero, in the womb. The laws are starting to go now. They're trying to get it so that a black woman can kill a black boy uh, uh, 5, 10, 20 days after it's born. That she can, and all she has to say, when I remember my auntie, she shot her own son. She didn't kill the nigga. I think he was drunk or whatever, but she shot the nigga. Ain't nothing happened to her. I remember, and now all the woman has to say, no matter what color she is, I was scared. He scared me. I was frightened. She ain't nothing gonna happen to her. It don't matter how many times she slapped him, how many times she called him and pushed all his buttons, how many times he caught the bitch sucking some other dude's dick. But when he didn't had enough, she's scared. And she can kill him, and she'll get all kind of sympathy and money and all kinds of prizes, goods and prizes and help.
Preach.
And before she say Jack Rabbit, she on her knees sucking some other nigga's dick or licking some other bitch's pussy. See, the fact is that the deck is stacked against us, especially as black men. But nobody want to talk about that. See, I remember back in the day, before I ever even went to college, I remember back in the 60s. That's right, I said 60s. The late 50s, the early 60s. I remember it was always the black man's fault. We was the bane of society. And by the way, we caused a lot of that on our own too, by the way. So let's not get it twisted. But we were the bane of society. The black man, he wasn't shit. And then after the 50s, then the 60s came, and the Caucasoid man started giving the black whore money. And all he said is, don't let a nigga man live with you. And I'll give you money, I'll give you food, I'll give you everything as long as a black man don't live with you. And so a woman said, and then it's like he wasn't gonna give no black man any kind of a decent job. So a black woman said, nigga, I can do bad all by myself. I don't need you. Now she still, because she's a whore, she not only fucked white men, because that's how we got all these light-skinned black people in the United States. That didn't come from other black men. That came from white men. And it wasn't just Massa. She been fucking Massa from the time she got her, before she got here on the slave ships, and after she got here. And she's always thought it was a good thing to have Massa's seed in her, because then they could have good hair, be light-skinned. I'm not here to talk good or bad about it. I'm just saying that's the way she feels. And so she's always looked at us. We were inferior to her. And when he started giving her money in the 60s, which, nigga, I can do bad all by myself. I don't need you for nothing. And it's that way today. Now, am I talking about 100% of all black men, black women? No, of course not. But what I am trying to say is we have a systematic system, and it ain't the white man's fault. It's our fault, because we allow the woman to steal, grab our seed. Then not only the laws say that she can have us give her money. If we don't give her money, put us in jail. He'll give her money to have the bastard seed. It's a scam. And so that bastard seed And most of the time nowadays, she murders the black boys, but the ones that do live, they are fed into the prison system. That it makes tons of money for the white man. See, so and the females, they're just breeders to make more black boys to either kill because they get off on that. All of them, the black boys, it's a blood sport for black women to kill black boys, to literally tear them limb from limb. And they get off on that, and the white men love it. But white men and black women have had this secret, not so secret, but secret pact with each other to destroy the black man. And the black man, that's not the white man's fault. I don't even blame the black women. It sounds like I am, but I'm not. I'm blaming black men for that because we continually give our sacred seed to them in order to destroy us. We are our own worst enemy. We have to start doing for self. We have to remove ourselves from this evilness of self-destruction. Then just get a white woman. I'm not here to say anything. I'm saying we have to start taking care of ourselves. We have to start rebuilding until we got something that, like say you look at, how did it used to say? It says that, I think it was Chris Rock years ago said, Shaq, that's when Shaq used to play basketball, long time ago. Shaq is rich, but the man that writes and signs his check is wealthy. It's a difference between having wealth and being rich. Shaq was just rich. To this day, Shaq is just rich. But the dude signing the check is wealthy. The white man is wealthy. And that's what we, as black men, we have to start building is wealth. And then later intergenerational wealth. But if we're blowing it on silliness and foolishness, and just about everything we get is silliness and foolishness, then we'll never have any wealth so that later we can have intergenerational wealth. We have to start at the beginning. Getting a Rolex watch is not starting at the beginning. Okay. Having a big fancy $50,000 truck or car, or $80,000 car, and making payments on it. Wealthy people, they don't make payments on something. Okay, they don't make payments on no house. Now, rich people do. Poor people do. Middle class people make payments. Get a house, a $200,000 house, and pay $800,000 for it over 30 years. Refinance and pay more than that. Wealthy people, they don't make payments. So the system is rigged. And I'm sitting here saying several different things. But what I'm trying to teach you is life is based on several things, not just women. See, I'm not just talking about women. Because I don't hate women. I don't dislike women. I don't love them anymore. I used to worship them. I used to love them. But now I just understand them. You can either understand them or you can love them. But you
can't do both.
And so
That's it.
you can't do both. So all I'm trying to say is start doing for self. Remember that no black man, nobody loves you, including your mama. I remember my mama telling me when I was probably about 4 years old. Came back here She had left her husband, dad, apparently. I mean, I'm young, but I remember it like it was yesterday. It still hurts me what I'm getting ready to say. I was coming out the bathroom and she looked at me. She said, "You just like that motherfucker." And I was like, what? And to this day, the pain, I don't even know what that's about, but I'm sure all the stuff that was going on in life. And she wasn't no virgin when she married him. So all I'm trying to say is they all hoes. They not just sluts, they hoes. They going out getting purses and dinners. You know, when the bitch goes out and goes to lunch or dinner or whatever, and then when she goes out and he gives him some pussy or suck his dick after because he took her to a nice place, that's a hoe. So take care of self, guys. I'm gonna get ready to turn it back over to Brother MGTOW Savior. But the thing is, take care of self first. And then start trying to help somebody else. But quit trying to be Captain Save-A-Hoe. Quit trying to be somebody that saves your community. Help Brother MGTOW Savior. Help. We got to work together and save SOS, save ourselves. Brother, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Brother, you was preaching, man. It hit my soul. And what you said was so true. But in essence, and what it really getting truly to the bottom of things, and what this brother's saying is saving yourself. But until you can save yourself, you have to get help first. You see, when I talk about a man's pain, when I talk about what this brother just said, when he said what his mother said, you remind me of your fucking dad. Right? And she hate that nigga. So if she hate her father, what do you think she hate? How you think she feel about her son? And see, that's the thing that you men have to understand. That's why most black men really have some resentment towards their mother because of the hatred the mother has for her father. That's a part of your pain. And until you get some self-healing with yourself, getting self-healing will start having self-love. Having self-love will have more love for other men's plight. Let me say that one more time. Getting some self-healing, getting some help, getting some self-healing will give you some self-love. And by having self-love, you'll have understanding for other men's and have love for other men's plight. And you won't have such self-hate. See, self-hate and the killing of men today. They always talk about men killing each other. Black men always killing each other. They always doing this and that. He do it because he already hated his father. So if he hate his father, he gonna hate your ass. And if he can kill you, he'll do it the first thing he get. That's where all this self-hate come from. That's a part of your pain. And that's a part of what's wrong with us today. We don't address the major issues. We must understand this. It's the reason why the black woman take care of her daughters. It's the reason why any woman take care of her daughter and put her daughter first before your ass. She put her daughter first. And she ain't wrong. She got enough common sense to put her daughter first and put your dumb ass first. Because she look at you as a resource anyway. Fend for yourself. Figure it out for yourself. Any of you men live with your mama long enough, she'll put your ass out on the street. If you ain't provide no bills for her. She look at you as a resource, no different than your father. She looked at your father as a resource. And until we understand these issues and understand the dilemma and start having some self-love, getting some help to get that self-love. And once we can get some help to get self-love, we can start then building and start building for ourselves through camaraderie. It starts with what brother said, SOS self. We have to start focusing on getting some self-love so we can have love for others. And we have to understand that today. A part of a man's pain is, yes, being a part of this country. Yes, like the brother said, the mother was even about to shoot the son, and she could have killed him and got away with it and said she was defending herself because you are looked at as a threat. You are looked at as a target in this country. As soon as you walk outside, everybody want to kill you. The police want to kill you. Women want to kill you. Government, everybody want to kill you. You're just an enemy of the state. You're an enemy of the state. And until we understand this in this country, we can never get no self-healing until we understand that our biggest enemy is ourselves. We have to understand ourselves. And then once we understand ourselves, then we understand the whole world is our enemy. We ain't no different than John Wick in part 3. You know what I'm talking about. At the end, at part 3 of the movie, when everybody was out to kill him, that's how people feel about you as a man in this country. Everybody out to kill you in this country. Everybody's out to get you. They either out to get you for your money or they have to get you because they want you dead because you're talking too much, like Kevin Samuels was doing. You are a threat in this society. And until we can understand this, it's a part of what's wrong with us today. Because some men out here still trying to defend people who don't give a fuck whether you live or die, who only look at you as a resource. Like that woman said when I was in that house servicing that man's house, she said, you better make sure you look out for yourself living with this dumb ass nigga. That's what she said. You better make sure you look out for yourself living with this dumbass nigga paying all your bills. The man paying all the bills. She said, still look out for yourself than this dumbass nigga. You men need to understand this shit. This ain't no fucking game. The man taking care of everything. She said, look out for yourself before you look out for this dumbass nigga. They don't give a fuck about what you do for them. This is real life. You wonder why I'm so goddamn passionate and I get up on my soapbox preaching this shit. You see a man die trying to help these hoes. Trying to help these hoes. And they all celebrated his death. It ain't no joke out here. These people want you dead. Every time you walk outside, you're a threat. Women think they're better than you, and you built every goddamn thing in this society. Where your respect? When is there a day for you? They don't even like Father's Day anymore in this country. They never did in the first place. All the sacrificing, all the sweat, blood, sweat, and tears. Why men trying to find a way out this place? Because they know you ain't shit in this country, in this Western country. Had a brother from the UK tell me about his pain. You can't tell me about this place. You cannot tell me about this place. This ain't no place for a man like us. Because when you was born in jail. You be lucky enough to make it out your childhood alive. Children ain't even doing that. As a man. You heard what Cynthia G told you. We should have brought these black boys. Send them to the cemetery. They didn't take her channel down for that. They didn't strike her for that. We have to wake up and understand this.
Brother, why would they strike her from that when that's what they want? Why would
Go ahead.
That's I just wanted to say that. Why you said they didn't take her channel down? Why would they take the channel down when that's what white men and black women want? Is they want us to be killed and to go down. So then she only said what they told her to say.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I just wanted to agree with you, man. The game, it's a game out here. And what I'm trying to do is I'm not personally attempting to say we need to hate on anybody. But what we have to start doing is, black men, stop hating yourself. See, you're taught to hate yourself. I was taught to hate myself, to hate my skin, to hate my nappy hair. I hear all this shit from my relatives, my mama, my relative. Oh, that nigga got nappy hair. Because they was worshiping light-skinned black men. It was always the light-skinned black men, with the little curly hair, not being kind of straight, and we taught from the jump. Now, the fact is, black men, stop hating yourself. I know you were taught to hate yourself by your mammy, by society, but stop it. Just, what did that Nancy Reagan whore say? Just say no to hate of other black men. It ain't the Ku Klux Klan. As a matter of fact, the Democrat Party is the one that started the Ku Klux Klan, and they're the ones that still want it, the Nazi parties and all that stuff. That's Democrats. The ones that wanted black men to have guns was the Republican Party. Oh, now you're trying to sound right wing. No, I'm trying to say we've been tricked. We've been told up is down and black is white and round is square. And the black men were so silly that we've fallen for the trick. Stop hating yourself. Stop believing a lie. And one of those lies is that somebody loves you. Nobody loves you, nigga. Stop believing the lie. Take it, bro.
I would lead this in closing. What I said and what this brother said is true. We have to find love of self. We have to get help to love self. And once we can love self, then we can start having some camaraderie towards other men and have love for others. We have to. It starts with us because we are definitely in the war. We are definitely in a war. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. This is definitely a war against men. It's a serious war. And as long as men don't understand this, then you're gonna be a victim of this war. But until you understand the issues and what we are going through as men, then you can become the one with the knowledge, the one with understanding, the one that understands the plight of other men. That is the real situation. That is the real deal today. And I will be making a part 2. And I really want you brothers to stay in tune for the open wound of the pain of men. That is going to be something that I think a lot of you brothers going to love for years to come. Because that is going to be very, very real. For all you brothers, I want to appreciate every brother that came and supported and came out supported this video today. I do approve of this message. Me and Brother Doc do, man. We must understand the conditions of men, understand the pain of men, understand what other men go through. Stop worrying about what a female go through. Stop giving a damn about people who don't give a fuck about you, who only look at you as resources. They tell you every day. We got social media. They telling you how they feel about you. You ain't nothing but a resource. You ain't nothing but something to get used. Nothing but something to get taken advantage of. We must understand this as men today. We must understand that you are a man and I am a man, and we are in this together. We are going through the same pain, the same issues. I want to close this out. I want to thank all you brothers for coming out and supporting, brother. I am out. Any last words, Brother Doc?
Just what you said, brother. We have to support all men. All men are in the same boat, but we have to love ourselves. And black men, love yourself. Quit hating yourself, sir.
All right, my brother. This is over and out. Appreciate every brother for coming out. Part 2 will be coming soon. I love all you brothers.